Absolutely.
Morning.
26th of July, Rabbi Levitt.
And you're going to keep them clean over Tisha B'Av because you're not going to eat any food.
That's correct.
How we doing today, Lou? Lou? How we doing today?
Oh, just going to return this house phone so it doesn't ring in the middle of the share. You don't want that to happen.
How about you and Joan?
We're doing all right today.
Okay, we're back. Sefer Chofetz Chaim. Oops, something fell down. Okay. All right, so good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning.
A good Erev Tisha B'Av.
Ah,
Okay. Koralai Moed. Okay, so where are we holding here? We started Klal Ches. Yesterday. I don't see how far it is that we got in the cloud. Did we finish Klal Ches? Yeah, we did. We finished Klal Ches.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about being Megala Sod, revealing a secret.
And there's
Okay.
a summary there if you want it, before getting on to 9.
Okay,
No,
let's hear the summary.
no, all right.
Excuse me, so what page we on?
102.
102.
First, the dust of Raphilis refers to statements that are forbidden to a lesser degree than actual Raphilis.
Okay, very good.
Category are the following cases. A. Informing someone that a third person has said something about him that was not expressly negative, but which had a negative connotation. For example, informing Shimon that when Levi was asked for his opinion about Shimon, Levi responded by saying, "Let's not talk about Shimon and his history." So that's something not negative, but not directly negative, but can be interpreted as in a negative way. D, praising someone to a person who might react negatively and become angry with the person you are praising. For example, commending the generosity of one business partner to his fellow partner. C, telling Reuven that you just heard from Shimon about a favor Reuven did for someone and thus expect it to be done for you too. This can cause Reuven to become angry with Shimon. And D, relaying a statement that the listener may find slightly offensive, such as telling Abraham that Sarah said he was too old to have children. And 2, it is forbidden to repeat private information, even if it is not derogatory, unless permission is expressly granted. So that was a summary of Klal 8.
Very good. Okay. Okay, so up to Klal Tes. And we have an introduction to klal tests.
It just says that this clause will describe cases in which the prohibition of rechilas does not apply, provided that the necessary conditions are satisfied. And there are 15 here.
Oh, this is where we were reading this. I think Mayor may remember this, that he said the Chofetz Chaim said we're going to take a look in klal tests further on about the matter. Remember that case?
No.
Now at this point, we already forgot what it is that we're supposed to remember. He said, where did he say this? Okay, wherever he said it. We'll hopefully that when we see it in klal test, we'll remember it.
Right.
Okay. So here's where rechilas is permissible, provided that all of the conditions are fulfilled. Okay. So we go to Sif Aleph. We go to Lu to start off the reading, please.
Hine, L'ayil, B'hilchos, Isurei, L'shon hara, Michlal, Yud. Previously, in Klal 10, the laws of Lashon Hara, Be'arnu, Be'eza, Ofen, Mutar, L'saper, Lashon Hara. We explained the conditions under which one is permitted to speak Lashon Hara. Im echad hisna heg shelo kashura be'in yanim bevein divain adam lechavero. If someone acted improperly in the area of between man and his friend, V'hama saper mizeh mechavein rak l'so elis, and someone wants to tell about it with purely intentions for constructive purposes. Ayin Sham, see over there. V'ata bichlal ze neva'er. Now in this klal, we will explain be'ezeh ofen mutar lios rechil lichatchila. The conditions under which it is permissible to tail bear ideally the ideal the conditions which it's permissible in an ideal situation to be a talebearer. Excuse me, I have a call coming.
Excuse me, what page are we on now?
105, Alan.
With me?
105.
5, okay.
Yes. Near the paragraph.
Okay, so the word that Chofetz Chaim uses in his introduction over here is Ofen shemuter lios rochel lechatchila. This is, we're going to describe situations where in this way it's going to be permissible to be a rochel lechatchila. In other words, that one should say the rechilas. It's not, even though he says mutter, he says lechatchila. It's more than simply mutter. It's really what one should do. I don't know why he didn't say that it's a mitzvah. I guess because he holds it. I don't know. We'll have to see. But in any case, let's and what are the circumstances that it would be lechatchila? That it would be ideal to be a talebearer. If the speaker of the rechilas in this situation has in mind, and his intention is with his story of talebearing, to remove damage, to remove I guess a potential damage, or perhaps even an existing damage that can be removed. And from Hashem I request that I should not stumble in regard to the matter of halacha. Chofetz Chaim asking Hashem to help him to say the correct halacha. And now we go to Sif Aleph. Im echad roeh. And now we go to Meir to continue, please.
Okay. It says, this is preventing harm. One may speak rechilas for the to'eles of preventing a relationship that will be harmful. Okay. Im echad roeh shechaveiro rotzeh lehishtatef be'ezeh davar im echad. So if Reuven sees that Shimon is planning to enter some sort of partnership with Levi, Vehu Misha'a Shebevadai Yisubav Lo Al Yidei Zeh Inyan Ra. Okay. And he feels that Shimon will undoubtedly suffer some type of harm as a result of the relationship. Sarik lahagid lo, kedei lahatzilo min ha'inyan harahahu. Then he is required to inform Shimon of his concerns in order to save him from this harm. Ach sarik lazeh chamisha pratim she'avar Reim b'samuch. However, there are 5 prerequisites that must be satisfied before sharing the information with Shimon, as I will explain directly in the following Sefer.
Very good.
Okay, so you can protect someone.
Right, here he says sorich, that a person is required to tell this Jew about and really to warn him about the danger that's involved in joining up with Plony over here. That he knows that this is something that's on the horizon. It's not just something that's not coming lemaisa. That he knows. That's what he said over here. Im echad roeh. If Jew number 1 sees that his friend Jew number 2 wants to start a partnership with Jew number 3, so then And he knows that this is not going to be good for Jew number 2. So he has to tell him, but he has to fulfill these requirements. Let's see what the requirements are in Sif base. And we go to Roy to continue with Sif base.
Excuse me, Sif base, isn't it Sif of 5 conditions? Okay. The Chofetz Chaim enumerates the prerequisites. Veluhain, and these are the 5 conditions. 1. Yitzhahar ma'od shelo yachlit sabef es ha'aniyan ha'aniyan v'darato le'inyan ra. That Reuben must take great care not to immediately assume that the partnership will be detrimental. Imhu samra, and determine whether or not there is actually a problem. 2. Shelo yagadil b'safaro es ha'aniyan l'ray yoter mimei shuhu. When informing Shimon about his concerns about Levi, Reuven may not exaggerate the matter and make it even seem similarly worse than it actually is. 3. Sheyichon Rak L'Sarlah. Reuven's intention in sharing the information must be for constructive purposes only. Dehainu L'Talak Hagad Zayed Mazeh. That is, in order to protect Shimon from damage. Hello, Mapsa Shanaim. No.
Sinna.
Sinna al Hashaka Negdar. Is in order to protect Shimon from damage, and he must not be motivated by hatred towards Levi. And this right, going on to page 107. Uvazeh Hafirot Hapirot Haka Nivalo Gam Vein Od Anin Echod. This third condition also includes another factor, Shemalachai Hakana Sheyikaron Lasala. Aside from the fact that Reuven's motivation in speaking to Shimon must be for a To'elis, Velo Matzah, Matzad.
Lo mitzad sinna.
Velo Mitzad Sinna, and not out of hatred for Levi, also known Masachla Im Yavo Mizeh To'elis. Reuven must also first consider whether the intended benefit the Toelis he is permitted to share the information. Oh, sorry, whether this intended benefit will actually come about by him sharing this information. Only if his report is likely to produce the Toelis is he permitted to share the information. All right, this is a long thing. Maybe someone can take over.
Okay. Okay, Alan, do you see where we are holding? You're sort of like right in the middle of this
Po pu ki Nicole Shemor Tsu Kamor Pa Omim, to the exclusion of that which commonly occurred. Shapilu im Yomar lo Yishma lo, that even if Ruvain informs Shimon about the harm that may result from this partnership, Shimon does not listen to him. Imo, and proceeds with the partnership anyway. In this case, Ruvain may not tell Shimon the negative information about Levi, notwithstanding his noble intentions, since in practice, no Ta'alas will result. Moreover, in such cases where Shimon ignores Ruvain's warning and partners with Levi, it often happens that Koch Sheyar Gizo Chavero later, when Shimon becomes upset at Levi about some matter, as Levi anticipated, or Malo, Shimon will say to him, Yifeh Omar Olechor Paloni. Ruvain was right about you when he told me, She'ein Ru'u Behish then it is not advisable to partner with you. Or some similar comment that is commonly made by such people. Shehu mikurim shayesh lohem midor or zo dira chilus, whom Ruvain knows to have this negative tendency of speaking rechilus. Lo yitzar ashum or in such cases, when Ruvain predicts that his advice will be disregarded, and even worse, his report will be used improperly, there is absolutely no room to permit Ruvain to share his concern. Kihu machor shil es or irim halolu, since on the contrary, by doing so is causing these morally blind individuals to stumble. Excuse me. Below chilus in the full-fledged prohibition of rechilus.
Wow. So Jew number one has to be concerned with two things here. Even though it certainly would be a Toelis. He intends for Toelis in saying this report to Jew number two about Jew number three. But if Jew number two is going to likely not listen to him, and then in addition to that, he's going to if he does partner up with him and he finds that Jew number one was right about Jew number three, and he feels that it's not in his best interest now to partner up with him. He's going to say over to Jew number 3, "Hey, Jew number 1 told me about you," and that's and so if he's somebody who's likely to do that, so then you're not even allowed to tell Jew number 2 to begin with. It's you can't even at the risk of him losing out. But in any case, he's likely not going to listen. So in that case, then you have to refrain from saying from trying to protect him, because it's likely going to cause real prohibited rechilas to be said from Jew number 2 to Jew number 3. Okay, so that's the.
There's another thing to consider.
Yeah.
That is, if I tell Jew number 2, Jew number 3 is something negative, I say something negative about Jew number 3, and then Jew number 2 goes ahead and partners with him, Jew number 2 is now going to have animosity towards me, because he's going to say, yeah, Blue doesn't like my partner.
Uh-huh.
And same thing in a shidduch. If you communicate something negative about the potential marriage partner,
Yeah.
and then they get married anyway. Oh, Lou doesn't like my husband. He thinks he's a jerk.
Mhm. I hear. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm just looking at in the Bir Maim Chaim, he has something over here about there's a note right after it says Achar Kach. If afterwards he does partner up with Jew number 3 and they get into a machlokes, what does Chofetz Chaim say over here? Hu adin afilu im yishmalo, even if he does listen to him. Oh, that's the other side of it. Akshahu makir es tivo shel zeh shehu miayetz oto shehu beteva holech rachil. Ifarsim adavar lekol sheploni yatz oso shelo ligmor es a inyan im ploni machmas tam ploni uploni yuchol agia davar zela azne ploni. Chofetz Chaim gives another fallout, actually, as from the what could happen between Jew number 1 says, don't partner up with Jew number 3. So it could happen, says the Chofetz Chaim, even if he does listen to the report, Jew number 2, and he doesn't partner up with him, but he goes around. If Jew number 1 knows about Jew number 2 that he himself is a talebearer, it's not kedai to tell him also, even if he's going to listen to the advice of Jew number 1, because now he's going to go around and tell other people unjustifiably about Jew number 3, in a case where there won't be any heter to say over this bad report about Jew number 3. And then what's going to happen with that? Obviously, he's causing him to say rechilas. That's usher. And not only that, it could get, the Chofetz Chaim says, it could get back to Jew number 3, that Jew number 1 is speaking against him. and then that is going to cause Jew number 3 hatred and animosity towards Jew number 1. And the machlekes between the two of them. So you have to be very, very careful, says the Chofetz Chaim, about telling over this. You think you're trying to protect this guy, Jew number 2, right? You better watch out. The whole thing could backfire, and the whole thing won't be worth it. It could cause a lot more harm than good. Okay. Very tricky, very tricky. Okay, we got more time here. Yeah, let's go with Sif Dalad. Sif Dalad, who has not read yet? Everybody's read yet? We go back to Lou to start again the rotation.
If Reuven, Aim hu Yachol Lisab Bev Es Hatoelis Hazo, if he can bring about this constructive purpose benefit, Mibli Sheyitz Tarach Legalos Lifanav in Yanav Lerav, without the need to reveal this bad information, Ein L'Saper Alav. He cannot speak about it. So in other words, if you can, I remember hearing a story about someone who knew a guy that was he felt this guy was not suitable for this woman, and he didn't want to say anything, so he arranged to have the waiter, have somebody be the waiter at where the couple that was the shidduch that were considering marrying each other. They were going to go out on a date, and he arranged to have the waiter spill something as he was serving.
Yeah.
And the potential husband got really angry and berated the waiter in front of the Kala. And when she saw his bad mitos, she called off the shidduch without anybody having ever said to her, "This guy, gets angry and he's a bad person."
Oh, wow.
I think
Interesting.
that's an example of bringing about the desired result without saying anything. Of course, you have to be in a position to set this up, but I think
What do you tell the waiter? Oh, you mean you say, look, I'll give you $100 and just spill the soup on the guy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Says, why do you want me to do that? Don't. I'm giving you $100 because he can't tell him either.
That's right. That's right. Or maybe he can tell him. Maybe he knows the waiter to be a person of
He doesn't,
trustworthiness.
okay, yeah. All right. That's a good story, good example. Okay, so that takes care of Sif Daled. Now we go to Sif Hey. We go to Mayor to continue, please.
Okay, number 5. Kol zeh no mutar rak. The entire discussion above, permitting Reuven to speak Rechilus for a Toelis, applies only im lo yisubav al yedei hasipor ra'a mamash le ha-nidon. Okay, so if sharing the account will not cause Levi actual harm. The hainu shelo yareu imo mamash. In other words, that the people to whom Reuven is speaking will not actually cause Levi to suffer any damage. Rak she yusar mimenu al yedei zeh hatova, but will merely withhold some benefit from him. Shahayahu se imo hashek negdo. Okay. Been done for him. For example, as a result of Reuven's report, Levi will not be allowed to join a profitable business venture. After the mimela davar zehu ra'alo, even though this loss of benefit constitutes harm in and of itself, mikol makom mutar. Reuven is nevertheless permitted to share his concerns. Aval im yagia lo al yedei sipuro ra'a mamash. However, if as a result of Reuven's account, Levi will suffer actual harm and not just a missed benefit, asur l'saper alav, it is forbidden for Reuven to speak against Levi. Ki yitztarech lazeh od pratim. For in such a case, there are more conditions that must be met. Vayivoaru lekaman im yirtzeh Hashem b'sif hey vav. Okay, as we will explain below in Sif 5 and 6, with Hashem's help. V'chol shechein im hu roeh she'yisubav al yedei sipuro lehanidon. Certainly, if Reuven foresees that his words will cause Levi ra'a rabba yoter mikfi hadin, much more harm than what is justified according to halacha. The asur l'saper alav, it is all the more forbidden for him to speak against Levi. V'ayin l'kaman b'sif hey ma shekatavnu sham. Refer to what we have written in Sif 5 below.
Come on, B'sif Hey. Oh, that's coming up.
Yeah, below it says, yeah.
Okay. Very good. Okay, so that, in other words, that completes the 5 conditions that are required before one can say this Rechilus. Basically, that first he's got to clarify that it actually would be a bad thing for Jew number 2 to partner up with Jew number 3. And it's not just some imagined thing on his part, because perhaps he's got some other ulterior motive why he doesn't want 2 and 3 to partner up. But it really isn't bad for Jew number 2. That would be number 1. And number 2, of course, is that he can't exaggerate the extent of the fallout that would exist to Jew number two. You can't say, oh, he's you could lose your whole business working with this guy. It's an exaggeration. He couldn't say such a thing like that. And number three, he has to have in mind that the reason he's doing this is concerned for Jew number two, but not that he has it in for Jew number three, and that's why he's telling him, because he doesn't want him to get this business deal with Jew number two. And then we said also about all the fallout that could happen if Jew number two is somebody who doesn't guard his mouth so well, all the fallout that could happen from that. And in addition to that, that he that if it's possible to get this desired result, like the waiter with the prospective chassan, he should do that instead of having to tell the prospective kala that he doesn't think that this guy is the right guy for her. And of course, number five is that you can't cause actual harm to Jew number three. You can only actually cause that he will lose this prospective benefit, but to cause him harm, and certainly any harm that would be more than the Bezdin would judge according to halacha would be forbidden. And he says that there are some circumstances that would be permissible, some harm, but he's going to explain that further on in the Sefer. Okay. Now we go to, this is Sif Gimel right now. It reads Ba'ata. Oh, and we have 1 minute left. On your mark, set, go. Roy.
After discussing a case in which Reuven cautions Shimon against partnering with Levi, the Chofetz Chaim proceeds to a case where he cautions Shimon about Levi's intention to harm him. 3. Va'ata uva'a od an inyan echad. Now we'll describe another situation. Shein ba mishum asor Rechilus, in which the prohibition of Rechilus doesn't apply. Begon Shema La'achad Sha'ama. For instance, if Reuven hears Levi say, Im efka lithlogi b'makom beloni avenu. If I meet up with Shimon in such and such a place, I'm going to beat him. Or acharafenu gidamanu. Or if he heard him say, I will humiliate Shimon and curse him. Or Mammon. Or if Reuven heard from Levi that he plans on damaging Shimon financially. In any of these cases, Tolu Bazeh, the law is contingent on the following. Im Haish Hazehu Machazak La'inyan Bazeh. Mikvah. If Levi has a history of behaving this way, Shekoma Ba'amim also ben La'agashim Acharim, as he has done so to other people many times. Or Shalu Makir Lefi Ha'inyan Shalal Yoza Ben Mipiv Kadorech Gazum Baal Ma, or many times, or if Reuben can tell from the context that Levi was not merely exaggerating, and he's definitely going to follow through with his plans. Then he must inform Shimon about the danger facing him. Since Shimon may then perhaps be able to protect himself from Levi. Bikdei Shalom Yagia Lo Memenu Kuyosh or Hazak, and Shimon may then be able to protect himself from Levi and avoid suffering humiliation or damage at his hands. You can see the Haka'ah on page 110. However, Reuven must still take care to ensure Shalal Zachasaru Kain Kol Haparativ Shalal Hagal, that none of these conditions listed above are missing.
Okay, everyone. Yashikoyach.
Shkoyach, shkoyach.
Have a great fast. Bezrat Hashem.